G'day humans, Chris Stead here. Today I'm taking you inside MSC Magnifica, the rather large cruise ship which is going around the world and stopped off in Sydney Harbour. I was lucky enough to jump on board, so I thought I'd do a bit of video of like what's it like when you first get on board, what to expect when you first step into the MSC Magnifica, which you can see right there. So let's jump in and do a bit of a tour, and I'll give you my thoughts on my initial impressions of this rather Magnifica cruise ship.
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
No!
Are we there yet?
Yes!
Dad, I'm hungry.
So as you can see, she's not a small ship by any margin. There was already another ship docked in at the overseas passenger terminal. So I don't know if this is just too big to fit there or whether that was the reason why it was out in the water and had to get there through tenders. It's a pretty small entry if you're coming in off the tender, which isn't a surprise. Obviously, if you're just stepping on for the first time, you kind of probably come in midship. But with most of the ships, when you're coming down on those crew floors, it's a bit cramped. When you come up there and it's just spectacular. So straight away, where we came in, we turned towards the front of the ship and went straight into the theatre. And wow, what a first sight it is. A beautiful, beautiful space they've created here. Take note of the LED lights they've got like everywhere. This is kind of, I found this the whole way through the tour that yeah, they've got these lights everywhere. It creates a really awesome atmosphere. But a beautiful theatre. Apparently they're saying on this world tour, which is 120 days, I think she said they do 110 different shows in 120 days between two separate casts. Pretty epic. Anyway, if you don't turn towards the theatre, if you turn towards the middle of the ship once you get on board, you come across this, the Tiger Bar. A huge sprawling lounge. You'll see, as I go through this, you can see the tiger print there. And those stairs there go up to the casino, which is right above, which I'll show you in a bit. But yeah, one of the things I noticed as I went around the ship, you can see, look, there's all those LED lights again. So sparkly everywhere you look. One of the things I definitely noticed was that all the bars are really nice and long and have stools all the way along it. It's not, lots of space to get access. And just heaps of this lounge space everywhere, all the way through this middle of the deck. So we're on, I think, floor 6 right now. Deck 6, sorry. Like these big sprawling bars with these big lounge areas, like you can see the big kind of sofa style lounges. Lots of space. It must be amazing when this is just bustling. It's almost like being in a giant beer garden or something. And lots of stages. So each of the bars kind of has their own little stage set up. So there must be a lot of live music. Yeah, so I was really impressed by that. But I want to see here as well, like, so we just walked out of a bar. So we are on floor deck 6. So we just walked out of the Tiger Bar. And then as we move here further along the ship towards, we're going from front to bow to stern here. There's this kind of seamless transition between the lounges. It's almost like going on a pub crawl. But yeah, just moves from one to the other. Interesting color choices as well. So the tiger is obviously the tiger print orange. This is orange as well. As we go through, you'll see this kind of themed areas, like themed to colors. There's a restaurant which has like got I guess a mossy green. There's another lounge which is purple. There's another one that's kind of like mauve color, like not quite maroon, but yeah. And so these lounges kind of dominate the middle of the ship as it goes through. And then you've got shops here and there on the sides. I didn't see it, but there was a library somewhere. There's just on the other side of this bar, there's poker tables set up. You can see their long, big bar with the thing. So what's down there in the blue light? So this is where you're getting further and further towards the back of the ship now, and you walk into this atrium. And this place is beautiful. These stairs are amazing. See the way they bind, they bend in, but they also kind of come to like a teardrop section between floors. It's just really elegant, really beautiful. And obviously, well, not obviously perhaps, but that's supposed to look like a waterfall, and it's actually a sound of running water when you're in there. But again, when a ship's full and everyone's on board, so the ship's just pulled into Sydney here after traveling across the Pacific Ocean. So everybody basically was getting the most out of their port day in Sydney, which is why it's so quiet. Come down here, there's more lounges everywhere. You saw the grand piano in the middle there as well, so music in each of the bars that you walk through, each of the lounge areas. Beautiful space, isn't it? Really, really impressed by this. Now you will see as we walk through here some cops with dogs. It's actually the Border Patrol, not cops. So obviously Australia, for those of you who are watching from internationally, we take our biosecurity extremely seriously, and so we should with our delicate wildlife and ecosystem over here. So every ship that pulls into port, these guys go around when everyone's off board, basically to sniff out any potential dramas. So that's what that's about. It's not about trying to bust you for something. So here's one of the restaurants, Ladera, I think it's called. I'm going to pronounce all the restaurants wrong. So you can see it's a bit of that kind of that green theme to it. Heavy wood, like heavy dark wood in this restaurant. This is down on deck 5 now. Now if we head back up to deck 6, this is walking past the atrium again. Actually, so yeah, deck 6. You're going to find another restaurant down here. So you can see there's almost endless bars and endless lounges. I mean, it's going around the world for 120 days, right? You're going to need to find some different places to sit. So this is what Quattro Venti. Quattro Venti? Sorry for that poor attempt. There's another restaurant. So as you can see, very quiet on board during the time that I was having my sticky beak. So this one's got more of again, like it's very colour themed, isn't it? I don't know if you've picked up on that as well. But all the LED lights in the roof again, huge spaces. It really is it does feel like a big ship. It doesn't feel like a wide ship, but it does feel like a big ship. All right, so back to the atrium. We're going to head upstairs to what is deck 7 and have a look around there. I did notice, like, I noticed a lot of people getting on and off the ship. I was surprised by how many young people, like younger people, there were getting off the ship for a world cruise. Maybe a lot of them are staff, so maybe that was misleading. But yeah, it didn't feel like as older clientele as I was expecting. So the sea lounge here, it had a little whiff to it. I don't know if they let you smoke cigars in here or not. I know I've been on cruise ships where they do. But I don't think so because it didn't smell that strong of smoke. Maybe it was just those leather couches that had a bit of a smell to them, it just smelled a bit different, as you can imagine. But that's a really lovely space. Actually, I was saying that MSC has its own scent, which is on all of their ships. Right, now, if we head further on that corridor, I found a sports bar. It's like, oh yeah, sweet. A sports bar on this thing. I find this almost on every cruise ship I ever go in. Whenever there's a sport bar, or usually it's in the English pub, or whatever kind of themed area, they have TVs galore playing sport. It's always US sport, no matter where you are in the world. And I find that quite bizarre and annoying, especially if, but maybe they've just got some sort of partnership with ESPN, or maybe ESPN does partnerships with all the crews or something, all the cruises, so that's what they get to show. But yeah, I've been in English pubs where they're showing NFL and basketball and not even the Premier League on cruise ships. Oh, look, there's a harbour bridge. Geez, the weather turned on today, I tell you. Love the pool table. That's great. Only the one though. I noticed this in a few times around the ship. Like there's, as I'll show you later on the sports deck, like there's a tennis court, but it's also the basketball court and it's all the soccer court. So there's only one pool table, only a couple of table tennis tables for a big ship, So this place, unfortunately, I couldn't go and have a look. So this is another lounge at the back of the ship that's got a purple theme to it, but you can see the glass at the back there. So that's where you're going to be able to sit in a lounge. I know they've got a stage in there. I looked on the map, and you can just look out off the back of the ship. I think it's going to be a really lovely place to sit. That's always nice on cruise ships. And I really do like the elevator foyers. Just the lighting is just really cool. And back down through the sports bar now. Lots of photography. You can stumble across art galleries and like spread out in different places. Yeah. And I just want to show you out on the deck here as well, because one of the things this has is these huge wide decks, really wide. See how wide it is? And even chairs out there or anything. But you'll see as when we go upstairs, it's really quite wide. Now, if we head back towards the front of the ship, so I believe we're still on floor 7 here, deck 7. I know I keep saying floor. Sorry. You'll see a card room. This is really cool. So as I mentioned, there's like some poker tables set up downstairs, and there's that lounge area as well. But in here they've got a specific card room, which I think for a ship that's doing long voyages, this would actually be somewhere I think I would visit quite a bit. Love the hearts and clubs and so forth on the walls as well. And this leads us back to the casino section, which we were above before. Not all the ships have these. I was just on Disney Wonder. That doesn't have a casino area at all. But yeah, look, people like them. I don't, but people like them. Now, on the other side of that card room, I think it's on the other side of the card room, you find the Oriental Plaza, which is one of the specialty restaurants, obviously with a Japanese theme or an Asian theme. We were actually lucky enough to have lunch here. So I'm going to show that off to you in a second. Very, very yummy. And the bubbles did flow. So I'm not sure, I didn't take a photo of the menu because I wasn't sure if it was a standard menu or just something that was done for the media that were there today, or on that day. But that was lobster fried rice, was delicious. Someone else got the shrimp. And it was a choice between grilled chicken or salmon. I went with salmon. It was wonderfully cooked, perfectly cooked, and a bit of nice ice cream at the end there as well. All right, so upstairs now to floor 13. Time to go out onto the deck. So they've done a really good job here, I think, with the spaces and the pools. There's a lot of space on this ship. It's not crammed in. Like you go into a Royal Caribbean or even Disney Wonder, places like that, there's so much going on upstairs on the deck. It's just like every corner is used. On this particular ship, I didn't find that to be the case. As you'll see, there's lots of large open spaces and I guess you could say scaled back facilities. Beautiful closed roof here. So it was a pumping hot day. So that was half closed, letting air in, but also giving people some shade. A couple of spas up here, really nice pool, lots of sun lounges. They didn't have particularly thick cushioning, any of the sun lounges, I noticed. That was something I picked up on as a first kind of impression. I didn't get a chance to sit on it. But when the weather's playing ball, geez, it looks nice, doesn't it, when it's just beautiful. But you can obviously close out in the wind and the rain and it's going to be fine. Some foosball tables, some table tennis tables upstairs there, thankfully out of the wind. So it's not going to be affected. I have seen many cruises where the table tennis tables are just sitting out on deck with the breeze, so it makes it pretty hard to play. And shock horror, plenty of bars out on the decks. Which is what you want. It's got some interesting colour choices, doesn't it? It's kind of, I don't know, I don't dislike it, but I'm not sure I'm in love with it, but it's just kind of some heavy, thick, darkish colours, and then it kind of contrasts with these super bright, beautiful lights and deck. So yeah, it's interesting. So if you just move outside from where that pool area is to the next section, you got this huge open space. So I'm not sure that someone was saying that a lot of the sun lounges are put away for a port day. So I'm not sure if this is usually packed, but obviously they do some sort of events out here. For band playing potentially, some shows maybe they do morning yoga and stuff like that. But like that kind of amount of deck space I haven't seen that on a cruise ship before, I don't think. So it'd be interesting to see what they do with it. Look at it, it's huge. And then this beautiful pool area as well. So this is obviously out, it can't be shaded. So you'd come when you want the sun. So a couple more spas. Not the world's biggest spas. You'd struggle to fit too many people in them, but there are a few of them, thankfully. Be pretty close to the touch in there. This pool. Now, one of the cool things about this pool is its depth. So it's 1.9 meters deep, which is fantastic. I'm 194, I think. So for me, most of the pools I've ever been on cruise ships are like waist deep. So that one, I think it's really cool that they've got that deep pool that you can actually almost, I'm sure they don't let you, but you could dive into it. And a little kiddie pool as well, which is also nice. We'll go into this in a little bit more in a second, but I didn't pick up on this being particularly heavily used by families, and I guess 120-day world tour, that's not a big surprise. Again, see those nice big long bars with lots of seats everywhere. That's done a really good job there. Now just behind that wall, behind that bar, is the spa. And you start off by walking down this really long corridor with all these mosaics and the pillars. Feels like you're in a Roman bath, or even a Hungarian or Turkish bath. You get your hair done. Do you want to? Probably need a haircut after 120 days. Not me. I don't have enough hair growing anymore. It leads down to this kind of open area. It's a huge space, and then to a gym that's at the very front end. So it's pretty typical of most cruise ships that I've been on, that the gym's going to be up the end there. So you get a good look at where you're going while you're pumping iron. A reasonably narrow gym, but definitely not a small gym. Enough. I mean, obviously, it's quite a big ship. It's going to be. I don't know what the capacity is, but it's in the thousands. So it's good that they've got, enough space to house them up here. That's why I was querying before, kind of only having the one pool table, and when there's that many people on board and such small spas. But having not done it myself, obviously this is not a review. It's just a tour. I can't tell you what the actual moment-to-moment experience is like. I can tell you though that this spa is beautiful, really well done. And this room's great. So I think you need to be on a special tier of the membership that you want to get for the spa to be allowed in here. So it's I think it's hydrotherapy room. There's whirlpool spas in there. It was so cool and tranquil in there, especially stepping out of the sun. It was just a really lovely, lovely space. One of the MSC staff told me that she spent a whole day in here, and I can understand why. We step down from there, and I'll show you one of the massage rooms, couples massage room. So I guess that's pretty utilitarian. Sure, the massage is great. And beyond that, there's a steam room. Two steam rooms, actually. There's this steam room and there's another one that was a coconut steamed room. I don't know if there's a coconut scent to it. I love the mosaics, the tile work and everything like that. And as well as sauna, of course. A couple of saunas. Yeah, so that's the spa. Now let's head back up onto the top deck. And while I was up there, I spotted this. So this is like an outdoor kids club, and it's got some play equipment, a little pool as well to click into. There's a room in here as well, so there's some space. This seems to be set up for quite young kids. Again, I did ask someone how many kids are on board, and it was a very small number for this type of cruise, and I'm not surprised. The kids area actually was a bit odd. I'm going to show you more in a second, just where it was placed. Unfortunately, this was locked. But you can see they're all kind of just big rectangular rooms with padding and toys and seats. I mean, obviously there's a big park here, which is cool. So that there's more out here for the younger kids to retreat to if they need some kid time. But definitely not the most detailed kids club I've been to. Oh, this is a sports court, so this is up on secret floor 15. How good is the harbour? I've spoken to many captains. They tell me it's the best harbour to come into. And yeah, so just that singular court. I mean, it's great that it's there. I love it. I love the netting. It's not shaded, but it's a it's a really cool spot that they've got there, but yeah, it's not going to service that many people. All right, disco and bowling. So on the way down to disco and bowling area, you'll come across a couple of kids clubs. This is 3 to 6 year olds. So not bad, but not thrilling either. And as you came along here, you get to the teens club. So again, there's some lounges, little pool table, a foosball table. It's not, yeah. I mean, I'd have to wait till I get a chance to take my kids onto one of the MSC cruises and get them to experience the clubs themselves. I mean, the staff are going to make all the difference. The other kids are going to make a big, huge difference. But it was squashed up the end here. Didn't blow me away. It was obviously packed down at the moment. And then it's right up against the bar, which I also thought was really curious. So, and this is a bar right there. So literally looking in on the kids club. So that's not the kind of private area that 15 to 17-year-old teens are looking for, I would think, looking out the window and there's their dad. But anyway, the experience still might be great. So yeah, hopefully I'll get a chance to do some reviews in the near future, but this is just the first impressions, what I thought when I walked around. But obviously, disco out the back here. Nice glass windows looking at the back as well, some lounges, big long bar. I think that'd be pretty fun actually. I mean, maybe they do discos for the kids there as well. That'd be handy, and the kids club's so close. But over in the corner here, bowling alley. How do you like that? Actually, mini bowling, so it's not the full ball. Not something you can put through that giant window right there. All I could think is what's it like bowling on this ship when you're in deep, big seas, or even just a little bit of rocking. Yeah. So just slightly behind the bowling alley there's another area for the kids. So a couple of games machines, they require cash. So I said insert cash on it. Air hockey, and probably something that's a bit more fun. Like, I think it was a 4D cinema, and so I guess those chairs move and rock a little bit, as well as maybe 3D glasses. That was pretty cool. And we're going to finish up on, I think it's deck 13, back up towards the front. I think it's towards the front with the buffets. So I'm just going to leave you here having a look at the buffet, going through everything that they offer. And yeah, so that's my first impressions and a quick look at what to expect when you first jump on board and have a chance to explore, which is the first thing I did, of course, is you want to explore the ship, see what it's all about. Keep an eye on the channel. Hopefully I'll get some more MSC content up soon. I've also got plenty of other cruise content up on the channel, always going live, always doing cruises, and always looking to offer insights to everyone. Otherwise, enjoy the buffet. I'm Chris Stead. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I'll check you later.